children decapitated, ambulances shot at, paramedics thrown into mass graves, and journalists burnt alive. These are just some of the atrocities Israel has committed in Palestine's Gaza on a ferocious scale since March 18th, when Tel Aviv unilaterally breached the ceasefire agreement that had been in place with Hamas. These aren't just acts of extreme barbarism. They're also defined as war crimes in the Rome Statute of the International Criminal Court. Since October 7, 2023, Israel has killed over 50,000 Palestinians, most of them women and children, dropping US-supplied weapons on densely populated areas of the besieged enclave. The violence is so extreme that children's heads are routinely being blown off and bodies are being scorched beyond recognition or severed into mangled remains. The intentional killing of civilians and the attacking or bombarding by whatever means of towns and villages that are not military objectives are both considered war crimes as per the statute.
Israel has decided to stop letting goods and supplies into Gaza. We've done that because Hamas steals the supplies and prevents the people of Gaza from getting them.
For over a month, Israel has denied the entry of food, life-saving medical supplies, and other humanitarian aid into the enclave, a practice also considered a war crime under the Geneva Conventions. Even professions like aid workers, who are explicitly protected in war zones by the Geneva Conventions, are not safe from Israel's brutality. According to the UN, over 1,000 healthcare workers have been killed since October 7, 2023. Israel's latest massacre involved the targeting of 15 paramedics and rescue workers who were dispatched to save wounded Palestinians. The aid workers were killed, then buried in a mass grave by a bulldozer. Their clearly marked ambulances and vehicles were found flattened beside their bodies. Journalists, who are also protected under the Geneva Conventions, are just at risk in Gaza, with Israel having killed at least 210 members of the press in the enclave so far, whether by burning them alive in their tents or targeting press cars and adding the names of specific journalists reporting on the ongoing atrocities to an actual hit list. In seeking to silence those exposing its crimes, Israel is, under the Geneva Conventions, committing war crimes. Israel's genocidal war in Gaza, which is being referred to as the first genocide broadcast live, as former spokesperson for the UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees, Chris Gunness, pointed out, has laid bare the staggering failure of global institutions tasked with upholding international law and safeguarding innocent lives. As Israeli PM Netanyahu and former Defense Minister Yoav Gallant roam free despite arrest warrants having been issued against them, Western governments continue to supply Israel with weapons and billions in funding, making them complicit in war crimes. Given the West's refusal to uphold international law and implement the Geneva Conventions when it comes to Tel Aviv, will Israel ever be found guilty of the war crimes it continues to commit?